Hi, scholars. It's good to see you. I miss you, and thanks for joining me today when we're going to take a quick look at our first read of Irene Hunt's Across 5 Aprils. This is an excerpt, so it's a small piece. It's not the entire thing of her novel Across 5 Aprils. It's also important to point out to you that this is realistic fiction. In fact, I could call it realistic historical fiction. It's not a true story, but it's based on true events that happened in history surrounding the Civil War, which you're going to look more into as we go through our unit for the rest of the year. And I know you'll be looking at it in history too, so you'll get that nice cross-curricular kind of stuff. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out to you in our first read document in StudySync is our introduction video. It's really great to look at this video if you haven't had the opportunity. Even after you read it, if you take a look at it, it's that nice visual of what you just read or even a preview of what you're about to read. Next, we're going to move to the read section. And in the read section, you'll want to make sure that your paragraph numbers are turned on. That way, when I refer to a paragraph, you're not guessing, you know exactly where to go. Also, your annotation tool should be highlighted in orange. That means it's turned on. You'll want to jot down a few notes as we talk about a few paragraphs. I'm going to turn mine off, so when I'm talking to you and highlight things, a box doesn't pop up and interrupt us. We're going to start at paragraphs 2, really 3 and 4 though. And in these 3 paragraphs, Irene Hunt takes her time really describing the setting and what's going on. She does this really clever thing of putting a key point in here at the end of paragraph 3. The last sentence she writes, Jethro was sensitive to color and contrast. And really, she's talking about somebody else's room, and Jethro doesn't like it. This is predicting or foreshadowing what's about to come. The family is going to get into an argument about slavery, which is really the primary reason of the Civil War. So that little nugget in there tells you that they're about to have an argument. It's easy to miss and so clever of her to put in there as an author. I'd also like to point out in paragraph 4, as they're all sitting down at the table for supper, she writes, slowly and inevitably, the troubles of the nation began to move into the little crowded kitchen. Again, a preview or foreshadowing what's to come. All the troubles are going to be brought about in that dinner table scene. As we scroll down, we really get into that argument. And really, we're looking at the Civil War and the Confederacy versus the abolitionists. The Confederacy, or if you were a Confederate, you supported what had been happening and you wanted slavery to continue. If you were an abolitionist, however, you didn't want slavery to continue. There's that little word abolish in abolitionist. Abolish means to get rid of or to stop. So you can think of it as they wanted to stop slavery. In paragraph 20, Wills really is the antagonist in this group. He's talking about slavery and what happens if it ends tomorrow, clearly showing that he's a Confederate here because he's against what the North wants. Now, in your assignment, I'm asking you to identify those 4 characters: Wills, Cousin John, Abraham Lincoln, who is a huge proponent in the Civil War, and Tom. Sorry, I forgot the last one there. And if they're a Confederate or if they're more supportive of the abolitionist movement. Really keeping track of those characters and looking at their point of view in the story is key to thoroughly understanding it. In the next slide, too, you'll have a video to watch more about the Civil War and what kind of led to it, especially from the South. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you later. Have a great day, scholars.